So this is our first page of review for our Chapter 7 test. First question asks, given this function, how many x-intercepts are there? Well, when I look at this factor right here, I get the 0x equals 2, and it has a multiplicity of 2. However, on the graph, as far as an x-intercept, this is one x-intercept. My next factor, 3x minus 4, when I solve this, I'm going to get x equals 4/3. This factor has a multiplicity of 1, and it would be one x-intercept. So here's another x-intercept. So far, I have 2 x-intercepts. This factor here, x squared plus 5, when I solve this, x squared equals negative 5. When I take the square root, I get x equals plus or minus the square root of negative 5, which would be plus or minus I square root of 5. Now, these would be complex, which means they don't show up on the graph. So as far as x-intercepts, I have 1 here and 1 here. So I have 2 total x-intercepts. Number 2, how many real solutions do I have? Well, I have to realize when you have x to the third, there's going to be 3 total solutions. I'm either going to have 3 real, or I could have 1 real and 2 complex, because remember, complex solutions always come in pairs. So I either have to have 3 real, or I have to have 1 real and 2 complex. Or I could have 1 real with a multiplicity of 3. Let's see what I get. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this, make sure I've got a standard window. I'm going to put this equation in. 6x to the third plus 8x squared minus 9x minus 12. I'm going to graph it. And it looks like, I wonder if it, I'm going to get a little bit closer here. And go. Looks like it hits here and here. It's got to have 3 total though, so let's see. Second trace. Let's find that 0. Oh, let's find this one first. So 1.22 is a 0. Let's find this other one here. Second trace. 0. Look, it went up to the positive. So that's to the left and above, right and below, and negative 1.22. So far I have x equals 1.22, x equals negative 1.22, and then second trace, okay, left and below, right and above. I know it's above because this right here is positive. And I get x equals negative 1.33. So I have how many real solutions? I have 3 real solutions. Number 3 asks me, let m equal 4 minus 3i and let n equal 2 plus 6i. What is m minus 4n? So that's going to be 4 minus 3i minus 4 times 2 plus 6i. So this just leaves me with 4 minus 3i. I need to distribute this negative 4. I get negative 8 and negative 24i. I'm going to get my like terms together. 4 and negative 8 is negative 4. Negative 3i and negative 24i is negative 27i. Right. Number 4. If f at 6i equals 0, what is the smallest 0 of this function? This is a really important one. We're going to this is just a real important problem to be able to do. They're saying that 6i is a 0. That's what that means. Therefore, negative 6i must also be a 0. Because remember, we said complex solutions come in pairs, a plus bi and a minus bi. Which means, as far as factors go, x minus 6i and x plus 6i are factors. Because when you know a 0, you automatically know a factor. So I'm going to FOIL this. X squared plus 6ix minus 6ix minus 36i squared. These cancel, and this right here becomes plus 36. So x squared plus 36 is a factor. And I can use this to find my other factor by dividing. X cubed plus 3x squared plus 36x plus 108 divided by x squared. I need to put a placeholder, 0x plus 36. All my placeholders focus on the first. X cubed divided by x squared is x. When I multiply x times this trinomial, I get x cubed plus 0x squared plus 36x. Because I'm subtracting, I'm going to change all my signs. Negative, negative, negative. This cancels, and so does this, and I'm left with 3x squared. Carry down the 108. Divide 3x squared, and I guess I could put in here the placeholder 0x and then have the plus 108. This 2 is just the page number. Don't let that throw you off. 3x squared divided by x squared is 3, and I get 3x squared plus 0x plus 108. And that would give me then a remainder of 0. Which means my other factor is x plus 3, which will give me my real 0. X plus 3 must equal 0, so x equals negative 3. That's my smallest real 0. Let's go to page 3. And we're going to skip 1, and we're going to skip 3. So we only have to do number 2. We're asked to do m divided by n squared. M is 4 minus 3i. N squared would be 2 plus 6i squared. Right, so I'm going to need to do this 2 plus 6i squared. I'm going to do this off to the side. 2 plus 6i times 2 plus 6i. And I get, when I FOIL this, 4 plus 12i plus 12i plus 36i squared. This 36i squared becomes minus 36 because 36 times negative 1 is negative 36. 4 minus 36 is negative 32 plus 24i, which means this 4 minus 3i divided by negative 32 plus 24i. In order to rationalize this denominator, I have to multiply by the complex conjugate. Complex conjugate, the first term stays the same and the second changes to minus 24i. I need to multiply by the same thing on the top and the bottom because I'm really just multiplying by the number 1. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to FOIL. Definitely going to be glad I have a calculator to help me with this FOILing. 4 times negative 32 is negative 128. So my first term is my outers. Negative 24 times 4, negative 96i. And then negative 3 times negative 32 is positive 96i. Look at that. Those are actually going to cancel. And then negative 3 times negative 24. And I get plus 72i squared, all divided by negative 32 times negative 32 is 1024. And my outers and inners are going to cancel, but in case you want me to do that, I'll show you that. And we get plus 768i. Inners are going to be minus 768i. And then positive times a negative is a negative. And 24 times 24 is 576i squared. Glad we have calculators. These cancel and these cancel. This becomes minus 72. This becomes plus 576. Because remember, I squared is negative 1. So we have negative 128 minus 72, negative 128 minus 72, and I get negative 200 over 1024 plus 576. I get 1600. When I simplify negative 200 divided by 1600, show you, I get negative 0.125. Let's put that as a fraction. Math, enter, enter, negative 1/8. So my final answer is negative 1/8.